Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the intriguing world of international finance to understand how the International Monetary Fund, or IMF, generates resources to provide financial assistance to countries in need. As you might know, the IMF doesn't make money in the traditional sense. Let's break down their funding sources and explore some fascinating numbers. The International Monetary Fund (IMF) was established in 1944 at the Bretton Woods Conference. The goal of the IMF was to promote international monetary cooperation and to facilitate the expansion of international trade. The IMF was also created to help countries that were experiencing balance of payments difficulties. The IMF's initial membership was 44 countries. Today, the IMF has 190 member countries. The IMF's headquarters are located in Washington, D.C. Let's discuss the funding sources of IMF. The IMF's financial resources come from three primary sources. The IMF's quotas are its main source of funding. When a country borrows from the IMF, it is required to pledge its quota as collateral. This means that if the country defaults on its loan, the IMF can seize its quota. The IMF's quotas are denominated in special drawing rights, SDRs. As of March 2023, one SDR is equivalent to $1.22. The total value of the IMF's quotas is about SDR 476 billion, around $639.9 billion. The largest quota holder is the United States, with a quota of SDR 83 billion, around $118 billion. The smallest quota holder is Tuvalu, with a quota of SDR 2.5 million, around $3.5 million. Special drawing rights, SDRs. SDRs are an international reserve asset created by the IMF. They serve as a way for countries to settle financial obligations among themselves. They are not backed by any physical asset, such as gold or silver. The value of an SDR is determined by a basket of 5 currencies: the US dollar, euro, Chinese renminbi, Japanese yen, and British pound sterling. SDRs can be used to purchase IMF loans and even give it to countries. SDRs are a more stable reserve asset than individual currencies, as they are not tied to any one country. Then the most obvious reason of its income is the loan that is repaid by the countries with interest included. According to the IMF's website, countries have borrowed a total of SDR 613 billion, around $815 billion, from the IMF since 1947. The largest borrower from the IMF is Argentina, which has borrowed SDR 106 billion, around $135 billion. However, if we talk about IMF's lending activities, then it also comes with following debates. The loans come with conditions that borrowing countries must meet. These conditions are aimed at addressing the root causes of the financial crisis. Some critics argue that the IMF's conditions can be too strict, potentially hindering a country's recovery. For example, with recent IMF agreement, Pakistan government has been forced to cut unnecessary spendings, but at the same time also forced to increase prices of electricity, which is affecting country's middle-class people. There's also a debate about whether the IMF's lending practices have contributed to financial instability in certain countries. Despite the controversies, the IMF remains a pivotal institution in the global financial landscape. Let's recap its significance. The IMF provides much-needed financial aid to countries during economic crises. According to the IMF's website, 154 countries have received IMF loans in the past 5 years. The most recent country to receive an IMF loan was Sri Lanka, which received a loan of SDR 1.5 billion, around $1.9 billion, in July 2023. By offering resources to stabilize economies, the IMF contributes to global economic stability. The conditions attached to loans are intended to foster long-term economic growth and development.